Twins. We are the fourth. We are Minnesota.
Another beautiful night at Target Field, Game 2, with the Twins trying to build a winning streak against the Baltimore Orioles. And we welcome you to Target Field. Dick and Bert with you again for Game 2, the longest homestand of the year, and a great opportunity for the Twins to make up some ground on the 500 mark. The projected outfield of the Twins, Rosario, Buxton, and Kepler, has not been much of a factor for the Twins this year. Now, Rosario's been in left. Kepler's been an everyday player. Twins have rotated a lot of different players out in center field, and the latest is Jake Cave.
Yeah, Jake Cave, you know, he came out of the Yankee organization, signed with them back in 2011, and sometimes when you're in the minor leagues of the Yankees, you may not get the opportunity to come up, because last year he had an outstanding year between AA and AAA, hit 20 home runs, hit over 300, finally getting an opportunity to get a call up here, 3 different stints with the Twins, and he's trying to make the most out of it. Tell you, 3 times he's had this type of ball game already in his young career at the major league level. Last night, 3 for 3, a couple doubles, scored a run, drove in a run, and he played some very good defense behind Slager and the pitching staff last night.
Twins have run Ryan Lamar out there as a semi-regular player, Taylor Motter for a brief time, but it looks like Jake Cave, the way he's swinging the bat, playing in the field, Audra Martin, he might be around for a while.
That could possibly be the case for Jake Cave. Guys, when you get called up from the minor leagues and you come up and your first big league hit is a home run, obviously there's going to be a lot of high expectations going forward. And for Jake Cave, he also has to deal with the fact that he's trying to fill in for a Platinum Glove winner. But he says every day, to make sure he has the right mindset to stay focused, he literally tells himself out loud every day, remember, it's still just baseball. It's still just the game I love to play. Because he says it's important to remember that you don't know what's going to happen every day. Take every day one day at a time. Don't look ahead to the future, and that mindset is what's been key for him settling in here since his original call-up.
You know, a little more comfortable out there now. You know, I still think I'm same mentality though. You know, I go out there every day, just try to play hard. You know, have good at-bats, run hard, play as hard as I can in the outfield, try to help my pitchers out as much as I can. Maybe just a little more comfortable, you know, not as nervous as before.
I've been impressed with his center field play, having heard that corners were probably a little bit better. I think he's handled that well. And with the bat, he's dangerous because he's got power all around the field. You know, he can drive the ball in the gap. And, you know, he's still kind of probably learning what he's like as an offensive player, given the power. The first uptick was really last season. So he's getting a chance, and he's trying to take advantage of it.
Coming up, the bullpen has officially moved on from Chicago and seems to be back on track. Dick and Bert take a look at the contributions over the last 4 games.
Fox Sports North is presented by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. It is a gorgeous night at Target Field. The Twins are hoping to continue what has been a successful run of games against the Baltimore Orioles. And we talked on the pregame show about the formula teams like to use, where they get at least 6 innings from their starting pitcher. And for the most part, Lance Lynn has been able to do that for the Twins.
Yeah, you know, at the last couple starts, of course, you know, the numbers inflated because of his last outing against the Cubs. Prior to that, you know, he worked 5 innings against the Chicago White Sox, so he did not have a very good road trip, and he's pitched very well here at Target Field, so that's a good thing. One thing in this game today, you know, there's so much added pressure on the bullpen, and really they did not pitch very well in that Chicago Cubs series, but really in Milwaukee and then last night, bullpen is really starting to, you know, come into his own, I guess, but a lot is asked for these gentlemen to get a lot of outs per game.
And they had to get a lot of outs the last time Lance Lynn took them out. He lasted just an inning and 2/3. He'll hope for a much better and longer start here tonight in Game 2. Well-played victory last night, and Jake Cave back out there in center field. He had quite a game last night, both at the plate and in the field. We've seen him run the bases well. Buck Showalter is enduring what may go down as the worst season in Baltimore Oriole history. They're on a pace right now to win just 45 games. They're on a pace to go 45 and 117. So far, there have only been 2 100-loss seasons in Baltimore Oriole history. Here's the Menards batting order for the Orioles. Tim Peckham leading off, then Adam Jones, Manny Machado, Mark Trumbo, Chris Davis, Jonathan Scope, Trey Mancini, Joey Rickard, and Caleb Joseph.
And let's take a look at our tonight's starting pitcher stats, are brought to you by Home Furniture. And that's Lance Lynn making his 17th start, his first against the Orioles this year. He did not face the Orioles when the Twins won 2 of 3 in the first 3 games of the season in March and early April.
The Twins out of the field go Rosario, Cave, and Kepler across the outfield. Escobar, Polanco, Dozier, Morrison across the infield. Bauer DHing again. Mitch Garver gets his turn behind the plate. Morrison with a big home run in the ball game. Hit the ball well last night. Sometimes managers like to play the hot hand, feeling that some players, even if they don't do it all the time, sometimes they just are more productive when they're playing in the field.
Yeah, and Morrison has very good numbers against the Orioles starter too, Dylan Bundy, so that also helps.
Chance to get Joe Mauer off his legs for a little bit, and we're about ready to get going. Lance Lynn's outing against the Cubs, not only was it short, not only were the numbers ugly, but it was there was an embarrassing moment that kind of set up the big inning for the Cubs when he failed to cover first base in the oppressive heat and humidity. So for a lot of reasons, I'm guessing he's really been itching to get out on the mound again here tonight.
Yeah, anytime that you have a short start, and I had my share of short starts, so you want to get back out there and prove that you could do better for your team.
First pitch lifted high and deep to center, and Cave going back to the wall, leaping, and
did he hit it?
He made the catch. He had a great night in the field last night, and one pitch into tonight's game, he's off to a great start. He took a home run away from Beckham.
Well, you just sit down as a fan. One first pitch into the ball game, you see the center fielder Jake Cave hustle back and timed his leap perfectly and brought that ball back.
Oh man,
what a great catch, great concentration, the leap, the open glove. That ball was definitely over the fence and brought back in play. Wow.
Let's go, baby. Tip of the helmet from Beckham. One pitch, one out. And now Adam Jones. And a check swing and a called strike.
Yeah, Lynn here tonight. Now, he's a guy that will throw his fastball 30-80% of the time, 70-80% of the time, but he's got to mix in his pitches against this ball club because Orioles, they are a good hitting fastball team.
Well, you could sense, I mean, Beckham was ready for a first pitch fastball. He got one and put the barrel on it.
And Jones definitely a good fastball hitter.
Bouncer to third. Second hop, a high hop for Escobar. Over to Morrison, 2 down.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you can't throw him the fastball. He put that fastball in a good location inside on Jones, kind of tied him up, and he hit that ground ball.
Take a look at the defensive runs saved by the American League outfielders. And you can see even without Buxton, the Twins are in the top third. I guess the Yankees with 27, that's kind of surprising. Aaron Hicks part of that. 2 down, and now Manny Machado. And on the outside corner.
Yeah, Lance Lynn does not have a lot of history against the Orioles, making just his 3rd career start. One of them coming last year when he was with the Cardinals. The other one back in 2014.
And he missed there. 1-1. Yeah, first time through the batting order, particularly. He relies so much on the fastball.
Well, he's a fastball pitcher. What he needs to do is attack the strike zone. Too many walks.
Ground ball base hit on a fastball. Machado's aboard with a 2-out single.
You kind of take the power away. Machado, he comes into this ball game hitting .308. That's 8th best in the American League. He's a good hitter, so he kind of tied him up, but he got a base hit. Let's take a look at the Pizza Ranch win. How are the Twins going to win tonight's ball game? Well, basically repeat what they did last night. Good defense, good pitching, bullpen pitch good. Slager's winning his first major league start. That's the formula that you want to have night after night. Good pitching, good defense, timely hitting.
Well, they've already had the good defense. I mean, it could very easily be 1-0 already.
Right.
Now, here's a guy who has probably tossed and turned all night getting ready to hit against Lance Lynn. He's 5 for 10 with 3 home runs against Lance Lynn.
Yeah, he's one of those hitters that I used to face that had a lot of success against me that would send a limo to make sure I got to the ballpark. They picked me up.
And they get to the clubhouse. They check the lineup. 4th. I want a bad leadoff against this guy.
Well, there are certain guys, you know, Trumbo is a very good fastball hitter, and that's probably where Lynn has made a couple mistakes on him and left some fastballs out over the plate. Trumbo, a big man. I mean, he's listed at 6'4", about 225, but you stand next to him, he feels like he's about 6'6". Very strong individual.
And a breaking ball off the plate. It was clocked at 95. Must have been the fastball, but looked like it had some cut to it.
Trumbo in his third season with the Orioles, came up with the Angels back in 2010, two-time All-Star. A couple years ago, led the American League with 47 home runs.
Fouled back 2-2. And there's so many names out there on the Baltimore roster who considered trade candidates. Trumbo's name hasn't been mentioned much because he's under contract for next year. And a year from now that might change. I don't know that a team would necessarily want to take over the contract. You can imagine Trumbo would be a pretty valuable bench bat for a contending team to have. 2-2. Half swing didn't go, and it's a full count. Machado will take off from first.
And Morrison now walking back, will not be holding on Machado with 2 outs on a 3-2 count. Davis on deck.
Thirteenth pitch of the inning for Lance Lynn. Fouled back.
You know, from our vantage point, I agree. That almost looks like a little cutter.
It's moving.
Yeah.
You know, it's moving away from a right-handed batter. That's a good thing, isn't it? 95 is plenty fast, and if you've got some movement.
Yeah. Lance has that 2-seamer. He'll run in on right-handers and then the 4-seamer away. A little cut fastball that he's thrown to Trumbo a couple times. Curveball, slider, and a changeup.
Tapper to short, should end the inning.
Good breaking ball right there. Good location.
Low throw, and Andre Jansen with a very poor throw, a low throw. Morrison did a nice job digging it out, and it's a scoreless first inning thanks to Jake Cave. Really good homestand. Team has played pretty much 500 at home. They'd like to go into the break with a little momentum and optimism. Here's the Menards batting order. Joe Mauer, the designated hitter. Then Eddie Rosario, Brian Dozier, Eduardo Escobar, Logan Morrison, Jorge Polanco, Max Kepler, Jake Cave, and Mitch Garver.
And tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture, and that'll be Dylan Bundy making his 17th start of the year, his second against the Twins. He was the opening day starter for the Orioles and pitched an outstanding ball game against Jake Odorizzi. That was quite a game. Remember, he pitched 7 shutout innings. Odorizzi pitched 6 shutout innings. And the Orioles ended up winning in 11 innings, 3-2, thanks to Adam Jones's home run.
It's the only game that the Orioles have won in the season series so far. Fouled away by Mauer, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Bundy just activated off the disabled list. Young 25-year-old got his first major league hit in his last start, that coming in Atlanta, and that back on the 23rd of June. Got a base hit and then later scored in the inning, but twisted his ankle, left ankle, rounding third base.
Liner to center and down for a hit. Jones is able to block it. Mauer, who's been hitting a lot of line drives for outs, gets one to find some outfield grass. Lead-off single for Mauer, and that'll bring up Eddie Rosario. Northland Ford defense for the Orioles. Mancini in left, Jones in center, Joey Rickard is in right. Beckham, Machado, Scope, and Davis, the infielders. Caleb Joseph back behind the plate. We talked about Lance Lynn's last start and how it was a forgettable one. Well, Bundy had one of those too. Back on May 8th, he faced the Royals. He only faced 7 men. He gave up 5 hits, 2 walks, 7 earned runs. He didn't retire a batter, and Buck Showalter got him out of there. So the ERA is still pretty good, 3.75, but 7 earned runs were added to his season total without getting 1 man out.
He's been very consistent over his last 6 starts.
Poke to right, and Rosario has a base hit. First and second, nobody out.
Well, Bundy, a guy that relies on his fastball as Lance Lynn does. He's got a hard breaking ball and a changeup, but right now leaving a couple pitches up, and the Twins taking advantage of it. So wanting to go inside, you see the ball left right down the heart of the plate, and Rosario, who came in hitting .307, 9th best in the American League, gets his first hit.
You talked about Bundy's great effort on opening day against the Twins, only giving up 5 hits over 7 innings. And now tonight, his night starts with a pair of singles. And Dozier takes a strike.
Well, I was going to say before Rosario's base hit, Bundy over his last 6 starts, 5 quality starts, 6 innings or better, 4-1 with a 2.55 ERA. So he has been pitching very good baseball.
Base hit left field. Mauer to third, and he's going to be waved around. Mancini's throwing to third base, and the ball gets away from Beckham over by the dugout and into the dugout. And the Twins will take a 2-0 lead on just 7 pitches. Bundy's having a night like he had against the Royals in May.
Well, you know what made that play right there was Rosario's hustle from first to third. He gambled right there, because he saw that that ball was going to be fielded by Mancini, maybe to his left a little bit. And right there, Rosario takes off. Joe Mauer's going to score right here. You can see the throw. One hops Beckham, but then off his glove and bounces into the dugout.
I'm not so sure that Rosario, who went into a slide, was ready to pop up and score. But when the ball bounced into the dugout, it not only allowed Rosario to score, and allowed Dozier to go to third base because the ball was thrown out of play. Here is Escobar. The infield halfway in. There's ball 1.
Yeah, Dozier will get an RBI single, 3rd straight single for the Twins, and then the error will be given to Beckham at third base. His 5th error of the year and the 50th for the Orioles on the season.
Infield halfway in with 3 infielders on the pull side for Escobar. Right back to Bundy. Dozier's frozen. Escobar's retired, 1 away. And that'll bring up Logan Morrison. Now the Orioles will probably play an even more exaggerated shift with Morrison at the plate. We'll see whether they deepen the infield at all. Not much, at least it doesn't look like it.
Now Morrison, good numbers against Bundy. 5 hits in 15 at bats with a couple home runs. Got a couple hits in last night's ball game. One of those hits is 10th home run of the year.
Taken for strike one.
Bundy is a strikeout pitcher. 108 strikeouts in 96 innings coming into this ball game. And you can see the difference. Left-handed hitters hitting 298 off of them. Right-handers hitting 238.
Pulled foul.
Excuse me, right-handers hitting just 181 off of them.
Right. Bauer and Rosario lefties have hits. So does Dozier, a right-handed batter. But he got the switch hitter Escobar, now trying to get Morrison, and the count is 0-2. And flipped foul down the left field line. Morrison with an opposite field home run. And it got out of here in a hurry last night.
Yeah, that coming in the fourth inning. That led off the bottom of the fourth inning. It made it a 3-0 ball game thanks to Morris's home run.
Twins needed that run, carrying a 1-run lead until the 9th. 2 strikes to Morrison. And he struck him out. Dozier is still at third now with 2 down. The Orioles already giving up a couple of runs, but the Twins are wasting a great opportunity, at least have so far, and making this a 3-0 ball game.
You can see the breaking ball straight down. Good tight breaking ball. Morrison swinging through it.
And now Polanco will try to pick up Escobar and Morrison. Over for strike one. With the switch hitters in the lineup, including Polanco, Bundy will have to navigate through 7 left-handed batters. Only Garver and Dozier are right-handed in tonight's lineup. Taken low, 1-1.
I think looking up Dylan Bundy's numbers this year, the thing that really popped out with me is how he does in day games and night games. I mean, look at the difference in day games. In 8 starts, 5-1, very good ERA, but night games, ooh, this guy is not a night owl. He must get up early.
On the outside corner, 1-2, and then there's the trouble he's had in the very first inning. An ERA of about 8.5 in the first inning, and he's given up 1 earned run and 1 unearned run right now. 1-2, and that's a base hit left field. Polanco with a big 2-out single, and it's 3-0. With 2 strikes, Polanco put it in play and got a base hit and his second run batted in of the year.
Nice piece of hitting right there by Jorge Polanco. And that's the signs of hopefully good things to come when guys start picking up each other, with Dozier at third and with nobody out. A couple outs later, Polanco picking up Escobar and Morrison.
Kepler with a good night at the plate last night. He'll hit with a man on and 2 out. Outside, ball 1. Pop up left center field. Coming in is Mancini. Jones with the call and the catch, and the inning ends. 4 singles, 3 runs for the Twins, and a good start in game 2.
Field, and now it's time to bring you some scoop from the clubhouse. Earlier today, the Twins announced they reinstated Taylor Motter from the 7-day DL and optioned him to AAA Rochester. Paul Molitor said they wanted to get him back in regular game action as soon as possible, and that was the best option. Reports are positive from Irvin Santana's start last night in Fort Myers. There was an uptick in velocity, some really good sliders, and good movement on the changeup. His next start will be Thursday for Chattanooga. And Eduardo Escobar is a bit heartbroken today. He watched Brazil, his favorite team, get knocked out of the World Cup today by Belgium. He was so upset he contemplated throwing his customized jersey in the garbage and said he's going to take his frustrations out on the baseball and eat some fogo de chao, guys.
That's a heck of a play by Logan Morrison. The ball was hit right to Escobar in short right field, and Morrison had to cover a lot of ground, sprint to the bag, and he got there, turned around to catch the throw. What a way.
That's almost a play where sometimes the pitcher has to get over there to help, because Morrison was playing at deep first base, and Escobar, you see where he's playing in short right field. Look at Morrison, went to his right, now trying to pick up the bag and then the ball at the same time as they just nipped Davis at first base.
And Escobar waiting for the first baseman to get to the bag, and that's kind of a dangerous play there with Morrison's foot right on top of the base, but nobody got hurt. That's a good play by Morrison. One down. Scope the batter, 2 home runs in the ball game last night. Now, going back to what Audra was talking about regarding Irvin Santana, Paul Molitor said his next start will be Tuesday for Chattanooga because the Rochester Red Wings are on break for the All-Star break, suggesting that the Twins were ready under other circumstances to promote Santana to AAA, which further suggests that his return to the 25-man roster might not be that far away. He needs to show continued improvement in velocity. But all the players that the Twins have had to play without, the high-profile position players, Buxton and Sano, there are hints that Santana might be the first one of those 3 to get back to the big league club.
Yeah, Irvin, he went into pitching 4 innings, threw 48 pitches, gave up a couple runs.
Half swing. That's strike 3, and Garver picks up the block and makes the short throw for a strikeout, 2 down.
And Lynn picking up his first strikeout.
I asked Paul about specifically Buxton and Sano, and you just didn't get the sense from his answer that their return is imminent at all. This is going to be a long process for, I think, both those players.
Yeah, Buxton currently down in Rochester. He has struck out 21 times in 54 at bats, hitting .204.
Right.
So yeah, he needs to pick it up if he wants to wear a Twins uniform up here again. And for Sano, he's hitting .333, but that's down in Fort Myers.
And playing roughly every other day. They are working on his conditioning on the days that he doesn't play. 1 strike to Mancini. And now a swing and a miss, 0-2. Well, Lynn staked to a 3-0 lead now. Trying to be very businesslike about his duties out there on the mound.
Well, he knows what he needs to do. Get the guys back on the bench as quick as possible. That ball left up a little bit. Mancini fouled it straight back. You know what? As a former pitcher, when you're out there and you have an early 3-0 lead, boy, that changes your game plan. You know, you maybe had a little bit of a game plan going in to establish something, but here 3-0, attack the strike zone. Go right at him.
2 strikes to Mancini. Tapped left side. Escobar firing on the run. Another good quick inning for Lance Lynn. shouldered a lot of the burden last night in the Twins win, and he's off to a good start tonight.
A couple doubles in last night's ball game, then a single, drove in a run, scored a run. And we talk about the offense right here, but he made some great defensive plays, and he starts this ball game off with a great catch in straightaway center. So there's the catch from last night.
Down and away, ball one. With Cave getting more playing time, and the Twins have 3 left-handed hitting outfielders on a regular basis now, with Rosario in left, Cave in center, Kepler in right. Ground ball headed up the middle. Scope backhands, fires on the run. Good play, one away. And the Twins can exploit that, their left-handedness, against all these right-handed pitchers that they will face in this series. 4 righties. And the Kansas City Royals come to town, and I suppose they might run into Danny Duffy, but you know, while they're facing right-handed starting pitchers, this is a pretty potent-looking outfield. Here is Mitch Garver. Garver's been good for a hit or 2 a night for the last 5 weeks or so when he's had a chance to play. He takes strike 1.
Garver since June 6th hitting .333, 17 hits in his last 51 at bats.
Close, off the plate, 1-1. The reason Bundy was given the opening day nod based on the fact that he was very reliable for the Orioles last year. Poke to right, and it's a sight for sore eyes for purists who like hitters to use the whole field. Garver, in limited duty, does that as a right-handed batter better than just about anybody the Twins have.
A good piece of hitting so far. We saw Polanco take a pitch away, hit it down that left field line. Here a pitcher away. Garver just hits it to right field. So 5 hits the first time through the batting order against Bundy.
All singles, pitches away. Hit the ball where it's pitched. What a concept.
Well, you watch their head, you know, of the hitter, and it's almost his eyes were in tune of driving that ball the other way. Good piece of hitting.
Mauer single to start the 3-run first inning. By my count, by the way, 2 of the runs earned, 1 unearned in the first inning.
Right.
So Bundy, who has had bloated numbers in the first inning and then typically settles down, trying to pitch around a 1-out single by Mitch Garver. We mentioned he was reliable last year. He made 28 starts last year, 19 of them quality starts. That's pretty good. So far this year, 16 starts and 10 quality starts. So yeah, he belongs at the top of the Baltimore rotation just based on that alone. 2 strikes to Mauer. Grounded to first. Davis fires, force play at second, double play. Nicely started by Davis, nicely turned by Machado, and the Twins are done in the second. Outfield defense has been at times spectacular. Here's our DQ combination.
Yeah, Aaron Slegers, you know, thanked the defense last night in his first major league win. A lot of nice plays. Saw Kepler a couple. And here tonight, Lance Lynn getting some help from his center fielder, Jake Cave.
It's interesting, Paul Molitor saying today that he likes Cave now in center field. The reports that the Twins had when they acquired him from the Yankees in late March was that he was better in the corner outfield spots. But boy, he's played center field here at Target Field like he was born to play it here. A couple of outstanding plays. And Kepler, we've seen him make diving, sliding catches left and right, crashing into the fence. Fouled away, and it's 1-1. And Rosario has been spectacular at times. The play he made yesterday, right after the Scope home run, when Mancini hit a line drive off the fence. There's a high fly left center field. We'll see if Rosario can track this one. There's the catch, one away. But that was a really nice play. He held Mancini to a single. And you wonder what goes through the mind of a young pitcher giving up back-to-back extra base hits. Well, the second hit was not an extra base hit because Rosario made a nice play on the carom.
Yeah, he played that carom perfectly. He realized at that point he could not catch it, so he turned around very quickly and hopefully it would bounce right to him. He barehanded it, got it back in, kept Mancini to a base hit.
And now Caleb Joseph, the batter. Base is empty, but you wonder whether it matters. Joseph has really struggled in his career driving in runs. Half swing. In 2016, he had 132 at bats. He didn't drive in one run. On opening day this year, he had a 2-run triple against the Twins. And he's only driven in 2 more runs after that. So with the bases empty, he gets a base hit.
Let's take a look at a scouting report on Lance Lynn coming into this ball game, being his 17th start of the year. Attack the strike zone. He's done that in the first 2 innings. Stay aggressive and stay angry. You know, when you're having a bad outing like you did last time, you want to pitch better and do exactly what Schlegers did last night. Attack the strike zone. Rely on your defense. Pick up a strikeout here or there.
Here's Beckham, who thought he'd hit his second home run of the year on the game's first pitch, but Cave would have none of that. Missing inside, ball 1.
I say pitch angry only because of his comments after that game in Chicago. He was pretty upset, probably that he didn't cover first base, and then just the way that things kind of, the door opened up for the Cubs, you know, and you do get angry, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you can control your anger.
Well, I hope he wasn't angry at Paul Molitor for taking him out.
Oh,
he gave
not
up
at all.
7 runs. He didn't cover first base.
Yeah, he was angry at himself.
2-0.
You know, you expect more out of yourself. Here tonight, Lance Lynn making his 200th appearance in a major league uniform, his 178th start. So yeah, I mean, this guy right here, 77 major league wins. He expects a lot out of himself. Nothing wrong with that.
On the outside corner. 9 ground ball double plays with Lynn pitching this year.
Well, we talked about it earlier. He does like his fastball, the 4-seamer, the 2-seamer, and you know, his control has been really off, but that's behind him now. That's a good pitch right there, just missing down and away. And he's asking right there, home plate umpire, if that ball was low or not. And the box says it just a bit outside.
3-1 to Beckham. Tapper up the line, foul, 3-2. Orioles thought that they had made a shrewd move by getting Beckham, who had pretty much worn out his welcome in Tampa Bay. This guy's not a young guy anymore. He just this year had his 1,000th major league at bat. but this is his 11th year of professional baseball. And the Orioles ended up giving a minor league right-handed pitcher to the Rays. And then he hit over 300 for the Orioles last year. So there was some thought that that might have been a really good move, but now the average is way down again to 210.
Well, not a lot of at-bats. He missed 2 months back in late April, and was not activated till June 25th. So he missed a couple months with a strained left groin. A talented young man at 28 years old. He was a Rays #1 pick back in 2008. Griffin High School out of Georgia. Griffin, Georgia.
Popped up right side. Morrison wants it. He's got it. 2 down. That'll bring up Jones. You can see the Twins take on the Orioles tomorrow, and the first 20,000 fans get a Twins flash cap that changes color when the light hits it. And you can go to twinsbaseball.com/tickets to learn more. We can tell you it's a day game tomorrow.
A 1:10 start tomorrow.
Been a while. You okay with a day game after a night game?
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Okay.
You?
I don't sleep anyway. I just keep on going. Here's Jones. Tap to third. Escobar goes the short way. Another good inning with a hard slide by Caleb Joseph. Mid-afternoon, still very pleasant, 3-0. And Eddie Rosario loves hitting in this ballpark. Told me yesterday everything will be fine. We're home now.
Well, we're going to find out if he loves hitting in Washington at the Nationals ballpark too, because I feel this man right here is going to represent the Twins in the All-Star game.
We've talked about this, and at least my feeling on this has been steadfast when the Twins have had good teams and a lot of good players, and years too when the season's gone like this. I do believe, and I'm glad, every team is represented in the All-Star game by at least one player. Rosario takes ball 1. Rosario singled and scored in the first. And now 2-0. Escobar with a chance, although his batting average has taken a nosedive since he got drilled by Rick Porcello in the last homestand. Fly ball left field. Mancini with the catch, one away. That'll bring up Dozier. I meant to mention it last night. Hats off to Larry DeVito and the grounds crew, and Larry didn't do it all by himself. It's hard for me to believe that there was a big concert here last Saturday. In years past, when they've had concerts in this ballpark, you come back and it takes a couple weeks for everything to grow back. And every year they do a better job. Soft line drive back to Bundy, and Dozier is out on one pitch. Every year their ability to turn this ballpark back into a ballpark without any visible signs of a big concert, it gets better. You couldn't tell that there was, the Eagles and Jimmy Buffett were here just last Saturday. Amazing. If you look real hard out in center field, you can see where the stage was maybe, but my goodness, what a great job by the grounds crew again.
It's a beautiful ballpark. Well manicured.
Just like Met Stadium.
Yeah. It's a nice ballpark.
I wonder what it would look like. Maybe somebody has some pictures. What Met Stadium looked like after the Beatles performed there in 1965.
How about the Vikings after the Vikings played in September?
0-2. And Escobar strikes out. And Bundy, as has been his history, has settled down after a rough first inning. Is presented by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. By Grant Casino, the best stories start here. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. It was dark, but we must have flown over the Wisconsin Dells on the way back from Milwaukee the other night. It was kind of cool. It was on the 4th of July, and from the air, we timed it just right. We had some delays in Milwaukee, but we timed it just right as we were landing, I think, from Eau Claire westward. We must have seen like 8 grand finales of fireworks shows from the air. I've never experienced that before. That was kind of unique.
If you remember, when we were playing the Diamondbacks on the 4th of July, we flew back, and it was the 4th of July many years ago. I remember seeing the
I must
fireworks.
have been asleep.
Yeah, you were probably sleeping.
2-0 now. Lynn to Machado. Machado has one of the 2 Baltimore hits. A 2-out single in the first. Big swing and a tapper foul. 2-1. What'd you do for the 4th?
Flew here.
Okay.
Flew here and watched the fireworks down by the river. Beautiful display.
Machado expect to be traded by month's end
A pretty good article in the website of the Orioles, basically saying that, you know, they're not going to give him away. They expect some very good talent in return for Machado, and if they don't get it, they may just let him finish out the year, tender him a contract. If he doesn't accept it, then get the compensation draft. Ooh, good pitch right there.
3-2.
And then kind of, I think, looking at that one. Where's that one? Good breaking ball right there. And again, the box saying that just outside.
Full count. The leadoff man here in the 4th.
Machado with that open stance.
High chopper over the mound. Dozier picks it up and flips 1-1. You know, regarding the Machado trade speculation, you know, this is a 2-month, maybe more rental. And, you know, if you're the Orioles, you got to be realistic, don't you? In terms of, you know, now if they negotiate a deal, an extension, then a teams might give up more to get Machado for the end of this year and year or years down the road. But, you know, the Orioles aren't, I don't think, holding all the cards here at all.
Well, the Orioles, they would like to get a couple starting pitchers. And
well, but who would do that?
They're hard to find anyway.
Who would do that? If you're a contending team, would you give up 2 starters for a player who's going to hit the market in 2 months?
Minor league starters that you don't know about, but big league starters, no. Other than the Houston Astros, who has 5 starters they can depend on. You're going to give up a couple?
Right. I mean, you might get a top level prospect. I don't know that the market's going to be much hotter than that for Machado. And you look at at least in the American League, the teams are pretty well set on the left side of the infield. Another ground ball, and it's Polanco firing and errantly off the sidewall, and Trumbo will reach. We'll see whether they rule hit or error.
I think Polanco got a little tied up with Dozier. It was going to be Dozier or Polanco that got that ball. Polanco had to come running in. And you can see Dozier right there. Was Polanco kind of lost his footing, but airmailed it over the head of Morrison. And Trumbo will be credited with an infield base hit.
And to hustle back, even though he didn't touch the bag, he had to scramble back. So it is a base hit, an infield hit for Trumbo. It almost looked like Polanco lost or never had a good grip on the baseball, which is why it sailed wide. And here is Chris Davis. Davis hit one into the shift. Escobar was playing in short right field. Pitches up, ball 1. And it's a simplistic way of looking at it, but the reason the Orioles feel they can't afford Machado is they dumped an awful lot of money in Chris Davis's lap. 50th pitch of the night for Lance Lynn. Swing and a miss.
And he's been doing a lot of that. Very good strike to ball ratio with 50 pitches thrown by Lance Lynn.
Pitch is up, and you can understand with Davis's swing why pitchers would attack him with fastballs up and in.
Well, when he does make contact, he can hit the ball a long way. 7 home runs on the year, 274 career home runs for Chris Davis.
Fastball up, swing and a miss.
And he's also a guy that will strike out about once every 3 at-bats throughout his career. Led the American League in home runs in 2013 and 15. 2013 hit 53 home runs. In 2015 he hit 47.
Nice block by Garver on a pitch down and in. And the count runs full to Davis.
Lance trying that 2-2 slider. Garver deadening the ball, keeping it in front of him.
So we would expect a belt high fastball. breaking ball, and it's hit hard to center, but Cave has it measured. 2 down. And that'll bring up Jonathan Scope. Tiny Twins baseball camps are the perfect summer camp for kids ages 3 to 5. Campers will learn the basic fundamentals of baseball. Each camper will receive a Tiny Twins t-shirt and Twins tickets. You can learn more. Register today at twinsbaseball.com/training. And now Scope went down swinging his first time up. Hit hard to center. Cave's got to try to cut it off. And his throw will come to the middle of the infield. First and third, 2 down. Scope with a solid single, and that'll bring up Mancini.
4 hits for the Orioles, all of them singles.
Mancini with a ground ball to third, his first time up. Tying run at the plate now with 2 down. Might have heard of the saying, a rising tide raises all boats, and that's kind of what's going on with the Orioles. Mancini last year had a great rookie season. 293, 24 home runs, 78 runs batted in, and the first 4 or 5 months of the season the Orioles were competitive. They fell apart in September. But now he's, like a lot of Baltimore Orioles, the reverse of the rising tide raising all boats, a sinking tide, and a lot of batting averages and production suffer individually because of that.
Well, you could say, it's a sophomore jinx because, if it wasn't for Aaron Judge, he probably would have won the Rookie of the Year last year in the American League.
Well, 3-0 to Mancini. Rickard on deck.
But people get to know him a little bit better, what he likes, what he doesn't like. You can see the home runs are there. 14 home runs last year, 11 so far this year. But the average at this time last year.
3-0 to Mancini. And a 4-pitch walk will fill the bases. It's the first walk issued by Lynn. And now Rickard will bat. Rickard getting a chance to play now for a while. Colby Rasmus was on the Oriole team. He announced his second retirement about a week ago.
A lot of injuries have put him on a disabled list over the last couple of years. Hip surgery. So Rickard getting that opportunity.
Lynn trying to pitch out of a 4th inning jam. His 60th pitch of the night. Strike on the outside corner.
Rickard started the season in AAA. This is his 3rd stint, just getting called up about 3 days ago by the Orioles for the 3rd time.
Fouled back, 2 strikes. Oh, the net went right at Mitch Hested of the Twins media relations department. And we know Mitch is okay. I don't know about his technology. Two strikes to Rickard. Off the plate, 1-2.
Fastball at 97.
One and two. Big block by Garver there. saving a run and keeping the tying run from moving up into scoring position.
Yeah, as a catcher, you know, you call the slider, and that's what the pitch was. You anticipate something down and away, but I don't know if this ball got to the plate or not. You can see the tight spin. Carver does a good job of keeping it in front of him. Big pitch right here. Want something to happen right here on a 2-2 pitch. Don't want to go 3-2. Bases loaded.
Ground ball to second.
There you go.
Right to Dozier. Inning and threat over.
Yeah, Twins came out swinging the bat. Brian Dozier with a couple runners on picks up an RBI single to throw where Beckham probably should have been able to get it. Ball bounces into the Orioles dugout. That allowed Rosario to score. And then good 2-out hitting by Polanco scores Dozier for a quick 3-0 lead for the Twins in the bottom of the first.
And it'll be Morris and Polanco and Kepler here in the Twins' fourth, and the Twins need to be careful here. We've told you about Bundy's history, having trouble in that first inning and then settling down, and he has done that. The Orioles had a threat in the top half of this inning and could very easily have tied the game up. So see if the Twins can put together a threat here of their own in the fourth. A high fly to right. If it ever comes down, Scope will catch it. One down. Let's go to Audra Martin.
Guys, it's time to take a look at the big story. Everyone loves a good comeback, and Nationals fans were treated to a big one last night against the Marlins. Down 9-0 in the fourth. Trey Turner got things started with a solo home run. He had another RBI in the fifth, a go-ahead grand slam in the sixth, and he ended his night with a 2-run single in the seventh, a total of 8 RBI on the night. So they erased the 9-run deficit to come back and win it 14-12. It's the largest come-from-behind win since moving to Washington in 2005, guys.
Yeah, 9 runs is a lot to come back from, but as remarkable as that victory was, it brought the Nationals back to the 500 mark. That's it. I just find that hard to believe. We don't we won't play the Nationals. We played an exhibition game against them before the season opener in Baltimore, but that team's got a lot of talent, young and old.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I think everybody expects the Nationals kind of to run away with that Eastern Division in National League, but how about the Atlanta Braves and the Phillies? Both those clubs playing very well.
Polanco, beautiful. And Bundy can hang on to it. It's so nice to see that when the team is giving you that. Polanco's a pretty good handler of the bat and a good bunter, and he took advantage of it and got a big.
Well, we saw it in last night's ball game. In one of his at-bats, he attempted to bunt, and it just bunted it foul. And here with Beckham playing basically to third baseman, playing short, Just lay it down. I mean, until more players do that, especially guys in the lower part of the lineup or in the top of the lineup. Yeah, you're 3-4 guy, 4, you know, 3, 4, 5 guys. Those are the home run guys. But the other guys get on base.
And now Kepler. Twins need some energy on the bases. One of the disappointing parts of the season so far is the fact that this is, for the most part, a young team. And granted, Buxton, a young player with all the speed that he has, hasn't been playing here and then wasn't on base much when he was here.
Well, clubs have run against Bundy, 13 stolen bases against him in 14 tries. So Polanco has 1 stolen base. Last year, 13 stolen bases in 18 attempts.
But the Twins as a team have just 29. That's like 1 stolen base for every 3 games played. And they've been thrown out 12 times. I think we all thought that, you know, Rosario, Kepler, certainly not Sano, but this young group of the core that was going to make up this Twins team, that they'd be, you know, terror on the base paths, and it just hasn't played out that way. 1-0 to Kepler. He takes up 2-0. Kepler has 3 steals and 5 tries.
Kind of lost in the game of baseball today, or say a hit and run situation, where this might be a good spot to have Polanco take off right here in a hit and run situation. Make Kepler swing the bat.
3-0. Cave on deck.
First 3-ball count for Bundy.
Well, this might surprise you. Kepler actually leads this team in walks with 35. He takes a strike.
Okay, Gene Glenn looking in the dugout at Paul Molitor, now going through a set of signs at third base, relaying them over to Polanco and Jeff Smith at first.
Three and 1 to Max Kepler. A high drive, right center field. It's hit a long way and gone. Kepler's 9th home run of the year, and the Twins add at least 2 more here in the 4th.
Nice crowd here tonight acknowledging that home run by Kepler. Fastball. Bundy made a mistake. Kepler made him pay for it. Twins take a 5-0 lead thanks to Kepler's 9th home run.
Bunt single and a long ball, and it's 5-0. And now Jake Cave. 19th home run allowed by Bundy. Strike 1.
His 8th home run allowed to a left-handed hitter.
Cave swings through an off-speed pitch. 0-2. This had some carry. Statcast powered by AWS. A little bit over 104 miles per hour. Foul back. Based on what happened last year, of course, Cave was in the Yankee organization. But if you would have told a Twins fan, here's a drive to right. This is hit well. Hard off the limestone, and Cave will be held to a single.
You don't see too many balls hit off that limestone. I think they're back in 2010 when the place opened. I think Billy Butler was the first one to hit off that limestone.
Ball caromed almost back to the skin of the infield. Cave with another well-hit ball and another sharp single.
Yeah, breaking ball stayed up right there, and Bundy, who didn't really have that good follow-through, kind of left it up. And Cave took advantage of that.
Started to talk about Twins fans. There you can see about a third of the way up the limestone. If you'd have told most Twins fans last year that, yeah, in July there's going to be a left-handed hitting outfielder that's going to be getting a lot of time in center field, I think a lot of people would have thought that it would be Zach Granite. And Granite had a great year at AAA last year. He's struggled this year. He's had some shoulder issues.
Well, not taking anything away from Granite, but Granite's more of a line drive base hit type guy where, you know, Cave 20 home runs last year, the most he's hit in the minor leagues 2017 between AA and AAA. And again, talked about it before. Here's a guy that gets stuck sometimes in organizations because of the Yankees. You know, they're going to go out and get guys like Stanton and Hicks, and everybody got Gardner, they got Judge. Where do you go? So you're hoping you get traded, get the opportunity, and Jake Cave getting that opportunity, and so far so good.
Two 2-0 to Garver.
How'd you like to have been a shortstop in the Baltimore Oriole organization with Cal Ripken?
Well, they had a few of them too.
Yes.
Like Rene Gonzalez, I think, was one of them, and 2-1. Garver with a single to right, his first time up. There goes Cave, and the pitch hit down the line, and a foul ball. Garver checking to make sure that the bat didn't crack. Cave took off.
Yeah, that was not a hit and run, I believe. That was just a straight type of steal by Cave, who does have one stolen base on the season so far. His only major league stolen base. 55 minor league stolen bases.
Two and two to Garver. Cave checked it first.
Cave has an unusual type of stance to get ready to try to steal a base. He kind of opens up and puts his chest more toward the shortstop in second base. A lot of guys will say their chest will be toward the home plate, but he does open up a little bit.
That is a foul ball. Not by much. Jerry Lane not right on top of it, but he was really close.
Jerry Lane, the crew chief. This umpire's crew. Boy. Even though that ball sometimes past the bag, if it goes over the bag, even if it hits a foul territory over the bag, it's a fair ball.
Bundy settled down, faced just 3 men in the second, 3 men in the third. Polanco's bunt singles opened things up for the Twins here in the fourth. And now 3-2. Mauer on deck.
Bundy making just his fourth career start against the Twins. His fifth game, he made one relief appearance against them. 0-2 in his career against the Twins, an ERA at 3.6 coming into this ball game.
Cave goes, and it's ball 4 in the dirt. Cave will round second and hold up there. That's a good walk taken by Garver. And Bundy's having a hard time getting the second out of the inning.
First walk for Bundy in the ball game. And Roger McDowell, the pitching coach, out to talk to his right-hander.
The FIFA World Cup quarterfinals wrap up tomorrow. 2 huge games on Fox. First, Sweden will face Harry Kane and England at 8 a.m. Central. Then host country Russia battles Luka Modric and Croatia and won. And you can catch it all on Fox or stream all the action live on the Fox Sports app.
I'm watching a little bit of that. How about you? I'm kind of rooting for Belgium. I know that they defeated Brazil, but
right.
Belgium near Holland, you know, since Holland is not in, kind of rooting for them.
Paul Fry warming up with Roger McDowell, taking as much time as he possibly can, as much time as Vic Carapazza will let him. I watched a little bit. Of course, everybody wanted the U.S. team to be at least in the tournament. And once Germany was eliminated, I'm of German descent, I lost what interest I had, I think. So here's Bauer, 2 on, 1 out, 2 in here in the 4th. Bauer with a single and a run scored in the 1st, and a ground ball turned into a double play in the 2nd. Blocked by Joseph. And the Twins with 8 hits against Bundy. Six of the hits by left-handed batters, including 1 by Mauer. And a strike, 1-1. Fouled away, 1-2.
I just wonder how long they'll go with Bundy too. Again, coming off the disabled list, you know, he has not started a ball game since June 23rd, the game in Atlanta. Pitch count's still okay, but getting hit pretty good here in the 4th inning.
Again, all of this started with a bunt single. Low, and it's 2-2.
Bundy just making his 59th career start, his 83rd ball game, 29 wins, 22 losses in his career. He has 1 shutout, a couple complete games. That shutout came against the Seattle Mariners last year in August. It's a 1-hitter.
Now 3-2.
He's struggling here.
Well, he couldn't finish off Garver. He had, you know, a long at bat with Garver and ended up walking the number 9 batter.
You can almost see that arm is tiring a little bit here. Just probably fatigued, not being out there for about 12, 13 days.
Line to left field, down for a hit. Kay flies around 3rd. He will score. And Mauer with an RBI single. 5 straight batters have reached. And the Twins have added at least 3 more here in the 4th.
I wouldn't be surprised if Buck Showalter makes a move right here with the left-handed hitter Rosario, but good at bat for Joe Mauer, picking up his 2nd hit, driving in his 22nd run of the year. And here comes Buck Showalter. Good piece of hitting by Joe. And Cave in his speed sees it's going to hit grass before it can get to Mancini. And he scores the 3rd run of the inning. Twins have a 6-0 lead.
And they're still not done. Already gotten a couple of hits, a run scored, and a run batted in his 4th inning at bat.
Well, Paul Fry coming into the ballgame. This will be just his 3rd relief appearance in the big leagues. He got called up on the 29th of June. Left-hander pitcher, 25 years old, coming out of the Seattle Mariner organization. Traded by the Seattle Mariners to the Orioles back in April of 2017. Scouting report: fastball in the low 90s, slider and a changeup.
Rosario, single and a run scored, and a fly ball to left. Tapper back to the mound and out at second, and Rosario reaches on a fielder's choice, and that'll leave runners on the corners. 2 down for Brian Dozier.
A big slider right there. Rosario, he's a guy that doesn't take many pitches, and right off the end of the bat they get the force out at second base for the 2nd out.
Dozier on a check swing, lined out to Bundy in the 3rd. He singled in a run, scored a run in the 1st. Pitch is up. Ball 1. Nine hits for the Twins, 6 runs on the board already. 2-0. Breaking ball taken for a strike. Now a fastball, strike 2. The outside corner came back to strike Dozier out, and Fry gets the 2nd and 3rd outs, but the Twins tack on 3 more in their half of the 4th inning. 2 on a Max Kepler home run. Pepsi fans of the game. Let's not give it to anybody else but her.
Yeah,
she could be our
girl.
Pepsi fan of the game. What a precious little child. And it's been a good night for the Twins as they lead it now 6-0. We move to the 5th inning. And Caleb Joseph will lead things off against Lance Lynn. And a first pitch strike.
10 of 18 first pitch strikes for Lance Lynn. Had a tough inning last in the 4th. 25 pitches. He needs a quick inning right here. 65 pitches in the ball game.
1-1.
See the 25 in the 4th. First 3 innings outstanding. 14, 11, 14.
That's down the line. Foul, not by much. 1-2. Talked about the Orioles and their awful start. Their worst ever mark is 54 and 107. That was in the lost year of 1988. And their very first year after they moved from St. Louis, this is the franchise that was the St. Louis Browns. They were 54 and 100, just a 154 game schedule back in 1954.
A good fastball right there inside, and Joseph swings through it. Strikeout number 2 for Lynn. So yes, you throw a lot of fastballs, but if you can throw them like that in those type of spots, nasty.
1 down, and now Tim Beckham. I don't know if you can ever say that a game swung on the game's first pitch, but my goodness, Beckham smashed the ball to straightaway center field. It looked like it would be a home run. Cave robbed Beckham of the home run, and the Twins scored 3 in their half of the first. Now they've added 3 more in the 4th. 2-0.
Well, sad to say for the Twins, which is good. They have to beat teams like Baltimore. They want to get back into it, get back to 500 somehow. They got to put a long winning streak together, and might as well start it here. Kansas City coming in after this, then the Tampa Bay Rays before the All-Star break.
Two and 1. Carapazza's given that pitch from up here. It looks like it's outside, and I think from the right-handed batter's box it looks outside.
Yeah, it looked right down the middle to me. I don't know what you're looking at.
All right, is this outside? See, that's outside.
Oh, that's right there.
And I'm right behind home plate. I usually can tell outside. Now they set up inside.
There you go.
And get a swinging strikeout. 2 down.
Back-to-back strikeouts. 3 strikeouts now for Lynn. I don't know what you're looking at.
Monday, July 9th is Pride Night at Target Field. A limited number of Pride theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and Rainbow Twins cap. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/pride or call 800-33-TWINS. Tonight it's University of North Dakota night. And the team president, proud alum of University of North Dakota, Dave St. Peter, stopped by the booth wearing what I'm sure was a free shirt. There's the hat they gave away tonight.
Welcome all the great Twin fans from North Dakota.
There are a lot of them. I'm going to put in my request right now for Caravan this winter. I haven't been to Fargo,
oh, you have?
Grand Forks in a long time. I think I was on the Fargo swing last year, and you asked to go on it. So who carries the weight around here? They point you on it.
I'm heavier than you are.
Yeah, that's true. And I had a great time. I got the Duluth Ely run. So I'm going to request publicly the Fargo run on the Caravan next winter.
Well, where's that pitch?
Well, if you want
That's what Lynn wanted.
If you're getting it 5 inches outside, you want it 7 inches outside. Right. 3-0.
Well, you know what? Look at this pitch right here.
Well, it's pretty much the same pitch that was called a strike. 3-0.
Okay, throw it in that box. There you go.
that has to drive you nuts if you're a pitcher, right? If you, all right, that's a strikeout there, right? Forget the box. Lynn isn't staring at the box, and neither is Vic Carapazza. But if that's a strike, I'm going to go back out there again, and then the next time it's not a strike.
Now he's going inside.
Ground ball to short.
Good inning.
Struggled a bit in the fourth with soft throw by Polanco again, but a 1-2-3 bend.
Fifth inning. Earlier today, the rosters for the upcoming All-Star Futures game were announced. The Twins will be well represented on July 15th. Outfielder Alex Kirilloff was named to Team USA's roster, while pitcher Lewis Thorpe will play for Team World. On top of that, Team USA will be managed by Torrey Hunter, and his coaching staff includes LaTroy Hawkins, Matthew LaCroix, and Steve Singleton. Paul Molitor was talking about the experience earlier today. He had the chance to manage the game back in 2002, and he says it's an awesome experience. And he added with a grin that I think the guys who get to play for Torrey Hunter in that game will not forget that experience, guys.
Yeah, quite an experience for Thorpe. In case you're wondering, why is he on the all-world team? He's an Aussie from Australia, of course. And he's on the all-world team. He'll be managed by David Ortiz. LaTroy Hawkins is going to be the pitching coach for the U.S. team.
I had a chance to manage the world team here in 2014.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
He get tossed out.
Tom Kelly beat us. I believe it was 2-1. Well-played game.
Well, so your record as a manager is 0-1. Your record in one-run games is 0-1.
Well, it was fun. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. I know Torrey, and you look at the name, David Ortiz.
Right. Well, who was on your team, on the world team? Anybody that's broken through? And I mean, that was 4 years ago.
I forgot what I had for breakfast. Come on.
Outside, and
I
it's
didn't
1-1.
have breakfast.
I mean, there was nobody, you know, from the Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico. Somebody.
Oh, I'm sure some of them got to the big leagues. I'll have to look. I'll look it up. I have it at home, I believe.
Report to me tomorrow at the 1 o'clock game.
You got it.
Breaking ball sweeps over for a called strike, and it's 1-2.
I know Detroit had a guy, Moya, the outfielder.
Oh, big tall guy.
Yeah, big tall guy.
Yeah.
I think he got a little bit of time. I don't know where he is now.
Stephen Moya, I believe was his first name. 1-2.
I could just call him, hey, big guy. Oh, wait.
Fouled into the second deck.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I got Barrios. I started Barrios in that ball game.
You did?
Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. Yeah, Lindor played for me. Javier Baez.
Were you even awake during the game? How could you forget managing Lindor and Baez?
I had my grandson with me. I was more in tune and making sure he had a great time.
Well, I know Mike Trout was in the regular game, but I mean, we're talking pretty top shelf talent here, and you didn't remember.
Hey, they didn't do it. We lost. Who cares? I didn't care. They don't produce for me. I forget their names.
That's right. All world, my foot, right? You couldn't only score 1 run with that lineup?
Really?
2-2 to Morrison.
That's right. We had Kenny Vargas, too.
And Morrison swings and misses, and Fry's having a good relief outing.
Fry picking up the second strikeout. Has retired all 4 batters been asked to give. Gabby Guerrero?
Who?
Guerrero?
Catch baseball's biggest stars. An unforgettable show from the nation's capital. Unless you're the Futures game manager, then you can forget whatever you want. The MLB All-Star Game, July 17th, only on Fox, or stream it live on the Fox Sports app. Two down. Here's Polanco, strike 1.
I'm still looking it up.
Javi Baez might be the MVP of the National League this year.
Well, he didn't do anything for me.
Up and away. And it's 1-1. You know, I've gone to All-Star games just as a fan, and I've enjoyed watching the Futures game, and I'm, you know, disappointed that the one that was played here, we were, you know, on the road.
I guess I was too.
Doing well, but I don't think you were working in advance of.
No, I was.
But you know, the Futures game's a really big deal. That's fun because you can say you saw Baez and Lindor in the Futures game, unless you're managing the team and asleep in the dugout. 2-1. Foul back.
That's coming this way. Just below us.
You show me nothing. Nothing. You could have stood up and reached over.
That would have broke a finger. So, huh?
I grew up idolizing you and your athletic ability, and you can't even get up out of the chair.
It wasn't hit at us.
Swung on and miss, and good thing the Twins got 3 more against Bundy. They haven't been able to do anything against Fry. Brian's created the Dozier's Heroes. The group was here today and met with some of them in partnership with the National Guard, and they get to come down on the field and watch batting practice.
Thank you, Brian Dozier, for doing that, setting it up, and the Twins.
Manny Machado will lead off the 6th with the Twins up 6-0. Outside ball one. Been a good outing for Lynn, and he needed one after the embarrassing game at Wrigley Field.
Well, you know what? You pitch long enough, you're going to have outings like that. And that Lynn, you know, that wasn't his shortest outing. His shortest outing a couple times against the Pittsburgh Pirates. I looked it up. Last year against the Pirates, he worked 2/3 of an inning, gave up 8 earned runs.
Yeah.
And prior to that, in 2015, against the Pirates, he gave up in 2/3 of an inning 7 runs, but only 3 of those were earned.
Inside a ball, 2-1.
So you're going to have short outings like that. It's how you come back from it. And credit Lynn, angry or not, whatever it took, he's here now in the 6th inning with a 6-0 lead.
81 pitches. He'd like to get 2 more innings in. It would be his first 7-inning outing of the year. That ball tomahawked foul.
Yeah, he's gotten 6 2/3 a couple times. This is his 17th start. 7 of his 16 starts, he's gone at least 6 innings or more. And he had a pretty good month of June.
Yeah.
2-2 ERA at 2.83, and then the hiccup in his last start in July.
Well, and earlier we talked about Irvin Santana tracking now, doing a little bit better. And the Twins obviously would love to get Irvin Santana back up here. The trade deadline is the end of this month. And so if Santana continues to progress, eventually he will be in this rotation, not in Chattanooga's. But at what expense? At whose expense? Just outside. Lynn thought he might have hit the corner, and instead it's a leadoff walk.
A second walk for Lynn.
And that'll bring up Trumbo.
And to be honest with you, Lance Lynn's his name has been mentioned in trade talk. He signed a 1-year contract with the Twins. You know, clubs are looking at him. And a ball outside.
It's been a strike, just not to Machado in that situation. Trumbo with a single and a ground ball.
Lynn's been able to get 9 double plays turned behind him.
And one team that might be interested, Twins just faced the Milwaukee Brewers. Brent Suter on the disabled list today with forearm tightness. That's not a. It sounds a little ominous because sometimes that's a sign of something more serious going on. But Suter, who pitched against the Twins at Miller Park, this ball driven to the corner in right field. And Kepler plays the carom beautifully. And Machado will go to third base, first and third, nobody out. Anyway, Suter is going to miss some time for Milwaukee.
Now Trumbo picking up his second hit. He came into the ball game 5 for 10 against Lynn with 3 home runs. And here just taking that pitch the other way, hard off the wall. Kepler has to play the carom. So second base hit for Trumbo. Runners at the corners here. You're pitching a good ball game. You want something good to happen right here.
Davis, the batter, he's put it in play twice. Ground ball to short right field, fielded by Escobar. And he was thrown out in the second. Then a fly ball to Cave in the fourth. Missing ball 1. Two and 0. Lynn ran into trouble in the fourth. He gave up a couple of hits and then a 2-out walk filled the bases. And he was able to get Joey Rickard to keep his shutout bid intact. But now nobody out first and third. Twins leading by 6, so they've got the infield back. 2-0 to Davis. Got to throw this guy strikes.
That's what Lynn has run into this year. Lack of control. 50 walks and 80 in a third innings coming into this ball game. Now 2 intentional, but it's 5.5 walks per 9 innings.
There's the outside corner. 3-1. foul back 3-2.
Lynn has 3 strikeouts. And Davis has struck out 103 times in 259 at-bats. With a strikeout, that may be a double play at the bat of scope.
Full count to Davis. Drilled to center, a base hit. The Orioles are on the board. Actually a soft line drive that Cave was able to retrieve. And so now the first 3 batters have reached for the Orioles.
And Davis picking up his 25th run batted in. As Machado scores. Looks like Davis fought off a fastball. Right there, kind of jammed himself and hit it softly into center field.
Garvin Alston to the mound. Lynn enjoyed a 1-2-3 second, a 1-2-3 fifth with a couple of strikeouts. But now a leadoff walk has opened the door a crack for the Orioles in the 6th. Scope hit 2 home runs in the ball game last night. He's 1 for 2 tonight.
Ryan Presley starting to get loose.
Warmed up about this time of the ball game last night. In search of a ground ball, hit at someone. Down the middle, a strike.
These are times in a ball game as a pitcher you have to find that little extra right here. 6-1 ball game now. Can't let it get away from you. Got to make good pitches here.
That's a tapper foul, 2 strikes.
They struck out Scope in the 2nd inning on a good slider down and away.
Two strikes for the Baltimore second baseman. Driven to the right field corner, and a foul ball. Second foul ball hit down into that little alley that runs along the foul line, just barely foul.
There's not much room down that right field line, but last night's ball game, Slager's only run he allowed was a home run to Scope. That coming in the 5th inning, and then in his next at bat in the 7th inning, off was Addison Reed. Hit a 2nd home run. 10 home runs on the year for Jonathan Scope.
Now Lynn rapidly approaching 100 pitches thrown. Still 2 strikes to Scope. Garver with another nice block. He's had 3 or 4 of those. Breaking ball landing in the left-handed batter's box. 1 and 2.
Sometimes those little things are overlooked, what a catcher has to do to maybe keep the runners where they're at. Garver does a good job right there. A ball gets by him right there. Both runners advance. So you have to go back to that slider again. Make it a better one. Oh, another bad one.
And those are the things that the dugout looks at, the pitching coach and the manager, saying this guy's tiring. He wants to throw a better pitch than that, and the sharpness on the breaking ball is gone. Command of the fastball wavering a bit. So we'll see whether this is the last batter Len faces. It might depend on whether he retires him or not.
Yeah, he's falling all over the place too.
Inning started with a walk, and then Davis had a long at bat, 3-ball count before getting a hit, and now it's 3-2 to Schoop.
Nine 3-ball counts so far in this game for Lance Lynn.
And there will be a 100th pitch to Jonathan Schoop. Skies are clearing. Twins still leading. The Orioles threatening here in the 6th. Another foul ball. A breeze, except in the 4th and now in the 6th inning.
Yeah, the 25 in the 4th, and so far this 6th inning, not good.
Another 3-2 to Schoop. Another foul ball. Quite a battle here. And Lynn trying to win the battle. Double play grounder. There's one. There's two. And Lynn not only won the battle, he got 2 outs with 1 pitch.
I'll tell you what, as a pitcher, that was a tough battle right there with Schoop. Finally hit that ball into the ground, turned into the double play. So a big turn of a double play right there for the Twins. Started by Polanco over to Dozier, making sure it gets it in the glove. Good feed to Bryant. And then Dozier's relay throw to Morrison, and Trumbull's moves over to 3rd.
Mancini. Another nice block by Garver. You'd like to think that if the Orioles were going to come back, are going to come back on the Twins in this game, they would need to get more than 1 run here in the 6th. So if you're Lynn, you figure, look, if we can get Mancini here and get out of this mess with just 1 run, it's almost as if they didn't score at all.
I know. I sat down with Buck Sherwalter yesterday and talked to him about this, and you know, just situations like this, that's why the Orioles are struggling where they're at. Just not getting any 2-out hits and getting many multi-run innings.
Well, Paul Molitor could sympathize if there was such a thing as sympathy from one manager to another. That's been one of the problems for the Twins too. 1-1. Chopper to 3rd. Escobar on target, inning over. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. Much more like the outing Lynn had throughout the month of June. 6 innings, 1 run allowed, good chance to win a ball game. 105 pitches. Wobbled a bit in the 4th, wobbled a bit in the 6th. But other than that, you just got the sense he was in control of things.
Yeah, you know what? He had that big at-bat with Scope, and Scope ended up hitting a double play, and then Mancini again. The Orioles cannot get that 2-out hit, as they did not in the 4th inning.
Kepler takes strike 1. Meanwhile, Fry's done his part to keep the Orioles marginally in this game. 5 up, 5 down, 3 strikeouts, nothing hit hard. Soft line drive, sounded like a cracked bat, 1 away. And that'll bring up Cave. Sanford Health injury report, a strained right hip for Gleyber Torres. And he leads the American League in home runs in the rookie class. We were talking about that last night. If you're the Orioles and you're looking up at everybody, but you're looking up at the top 2 teams wondering how can we get there. It's going to be a tough struggle for the Orioles with the Yankees, in addition to acquiring Stanton, but the talent that they have developed and brought up now to the big leagues.
Well, you mentioned Boston too, same thing.
With Boston, it's a little bit different. I mean, you know, I think you'd have to give the Red Sox the edge over the Yankees when it comes to starting pitching, right? In a series. But you know, you're talking Price now. You know, he's up there in age a little bit, and Sale, as good as he is, swing and a miss. Cave goes down on strike. 7 up, 7 down.
Strikeout number 4 for Paul Fry. He's a young man that started in Double-A this year, moved up to Triple-A, and then just getting called up a little over a week. Has an outstanding outing as Buck Sherwalter comes and gets him out, so takes him out of the ballgame.
His stock went up tonight.
Wow, sure did.
And Twins now will continue on here at least for a while. Mike Wright, a right-hander, coming in.
Milwaukee, but the Brewers up 2-1 over Atlanta. 2 runners on. Jesus Aguilar comes up to bat and just absolutely crushes a 98-mile-per-hour Mike Fultonevich fastball. If it weren't for that scoreboard, that thing might still be airborne. 433 feet for his 20th home run of the season. It's been quite a year for him, as the Twins saw firsthand a couple of times already this year. Brewers up 5-4 over the Braves right now in the 7th, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Audra. That's one strong young man, is it not?
Yes, it is. Well, now Wright will come in to pitch to Mitch Garver.
Yeah, Mike Wright, 28 years old. Scouting report, fastball, 2-seamer, 4-seamer. Got a good sinking fastball, good slider, and a changeup. In his 4th season with the Orioles.
First pitch strike. Garver with a single and a walk. You know, Garver's average with his hit tonight up to 261, and I think you need to kind of put that in context to what the rest of this Twins team has done at the plate. Sure, you got Rosario over 300, Escobar was over 300, and all the doubles. But Garver's got a higher batting average than Joe Mauer has right now, higher than Kepler, higher than Grossman, higher than Dozier. And so, and it's heading in the right direction too. And he will have another base hit. As we said in his first at bat, he's generally good for at least 1, maybe 2 hits per day, and he just picked up his 2nd tonight. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
You know, Mitch Garver, one of those guys, we talked about him last year, Dick, you know, in the minor leagues, a lot of extra base hits, hit 291 down in AAA. Always a good hitter in the minor leagues.
I just like where the hits are going.
Well,
you know, I mean, it's center field, right field, left field.
Well, you know, it takes a while too. You know, I mean, he struggled a little bit early this year, but now he's kind of maybe feels a little more comfortable. Last year, you know, when he got called up, he didn't hit well. 196 in 23 games. So you come into spring training, you got a chance, you know, with Castro going down, to be the everyday catcher. You put a little added pressure on yourself. Now, maybe the presence of Bobby Wilson being there too, the veteran, you know, talking to him and letting him relax, and now some of the talents are coming through.
1-1 to Mauer. Presley and Belisle getting loose. One of them, perhaps both, will pitch in the top of the 7th. Tapper, right side. Scope flips to Davis, and that ends the bottom of the 6th.
Well, Brian Dozier with an RBI single that scored Joe Mauer in the 1st inning, and then a throw that got away from the Beckham at 3rd base allowed Rosario to score. Dozier to 3rd with 2 outs. Polanco a big 2-out RBI. Max Kepler, his 9th home run of the year. A 3-run 4th inning gave the Twins a 6-0 lead. And Lance Lynn, 6 innings, allowed 1 run, couple walks, 3 strikeouts through 105 pitches. A quality start for Lance Lynn. Looking for his 6th win of the year.
Twins trying to use the same formula they used to success last night. 6 innings from the starter. And now we'll see Presley out of the bullpen, and we'll see if he can get through the 7th.
Ryan making his 44th relief appearance. He's made more appearances than any reliever for the Twins. 60 strikeouts in 40 2/3 innings.
Strike 1. Edwin Diaz, the Mariner closer, is leading the league with 46 games. And now Alvarez of the Angels, Jimenez of the Tigers, and Presley of the Twins all have 44.
Yeah, season number 6 for Ryan. 29 years old.
Presley didn't catch it. Dozier did. 1 away.
Yeah, right. You know when you have a ball hit back to you, Ryan kind of looked at his glove like, why didn't you catch that?
Got the out. Are you game for a little excitement? Head to foxsportsnorth.com, submit a photo and message for the opportunity to be featured in the Minnesota Lottery Winners Circle during our broadcast and receive $100 in scratch tickets. And with the Minnesota Lottery, every day is game day. Here's Joseph. And Joseph with another base hit with the bases empty. His 2nd hit of the ball game.
Yeah, 7 hits for the Orioles, 2nd by Joseph, all of them singles.
Tonight's cricket smile is thanks to Jake Cave. Fans are just getting into their seats, and he already gave them a reason to smile.
Yeah, first pitch of the ball game, Beckett gave it a ride, but Jake Cave leaped perfectly and came down and stole a home run from Beckham.
Here is Beckham, swing and a miss. That ball rolls away, but no chance for Joseph to advance. 1 strike. They're just underway in Anaheim. The Dodgers and the Angels are playing, and it's 108 degrees in Anaheim. A new record for the Angels for game time temperature. Missing 1-1. I don't think it got that hot in Southern California. 108?
Yeah, it can get warm, but that's unusual.
Beckham 0 for 3. The bid for the home run denied by Cave. A pop up to first and a strikeout. That's to center, and that'll die in short center field. A base hit. And the Orioles have a threat going here in the 7th with back-to-back singles.
Beckham picking up his first hit, and another single by the Orioles. Fought off that fastball. Might have broke his bat, but he picks up his first hit in 4 at-bats.
And now Jones 0 for 3. 3 ground ball outs. All 3 to the pull side of the infield.
Twins will take 1 more of those.
Fastball, ball 1. Breaking ball gets a tapper foul. 1-1. Dropped a breaking ball over. That's when we say breaking ball, there are two of them.
Well,
one is 90 and the other one in this case was 83.
there aren't too many relievers that can have 4 quality pitches, and really, Ryan, other than maybe not having the best changeup, has a good fastball, hard breaking ball, and then that slider. There, look at that. That's a nasty slider right there. So nasty that Garver had a tough time catching it.
Jones did a nice job laying off. It's 2-2.
You see Garver trying to frame it right there, trying to hold it.
Ooh.
Ball just fell out of his glove. Good pitch.
Replay brought to you by Carrier.
Again, Jones is up there swinging. Doesn't walk much.
Bounce to the right side.
Get it out.
Morrison fires a rocket that hits the runner, and a run is going to come home. His throw hit Beckham in the back, and everyone is safe. There'll be an error charged to Morrison, allowing Joseph to score.
Well, Morrison, you can see where he's playing. He goes to his right and then throws a P, but gets Beckham in the back. Ball gets away. And Joseph was going to stop at third, but he ends up scoring the second run. Ooh, right in the buttocks.
Still only 1 out, and now Machado will bat with 2 men on base. Suddenly things are getting a little tense here in the 7th inning. Machado with a single and a walk and a ground ball. Missing ball 1. Big swing and a miss. A swing intended to hit a 3-run home run. Pitches for Presley, 9 strikes. Facing his 5th batter of the inning. Into left field, a base hit. Beckham around third. He's coming in. Here's the throw to Rosario from Rosario on target.
Wow.
A one-up throw from Rosario, out number 2.
I'm surprised that Bobby Dickerson sent Beckham right there, only because the way that ball was hit so sharply, hit the Batman right there. He's got an outstanding arm. Machado, hit the ball sharply to Rosario. Rosario plays it perfectly, and Garver makes a nice catch right there on that tough hop, and able to tag out Beckham, keep that ball in the glove, and he did.
Yeah, that's really tough. The ball was out of the webbing of the catcher's mitt, and Garver with a long reach was able to keep the glove squeezed.
We get scouting reports on the defensive outfielders, the type of arm they have, and Rosario, he's known to have a very, very strong arm, over very high, and surprised he was sent right there.
Adam Jones did advance to third. Beckham's had a hard time touching home plate today, and the home run robbed. Thrown out at the plate by Rosario, and now Trumbo with runners at first and third and 2 away. Trumbo with a ground ball and 2 singles. Pitches up, ball 1. Trevor Hildenberger And the 8th inning last night. Might get the 8th inning again tonight.
I remember last night he got the big out of Trumbo when he struck him out in the 8th inning.
Fly ball right field. Kepler camping under it. 1 for the Orioles, and again they could have had more.
Base running mistake right here, but Rosario came in. He threw a P toward home. Nice play by Garber, tagging Beckham out. And I think when you look at this ball game for the first 6+ innings, it's missed opportunities for the Orioles that have given the Twins a 4-run lead.
Yeah, cool off those fingers. And Eddie will lead off the 7th inning.
I almost hear a chant of Eddie.
Eddie, right?
Yeah, I like it. Eddie Guardado's got to love that.
1 for 3 tonight. Single his first time up, and a run scored, and a run batted in. Fouled away. One and one. That's to center, and he's got 2 hits. And that'll bring up Dozier with a man aboard. I wouldn't have a clue how to pitch to Eddie Rosario.
Kind of way I faced Tony Oliva one time. I threw a little breaking ball slow and he hit a ground ball to short. He's 0 for 1 against me. That's all you can do. Basically throw it down the heart of the plate. Hopefully he pops it up.
Well, that's essentially what your counterpart on the Orioles broadcast, Jim Palmer, said of Tony. That he had to face him a lot, of course. And you have scouting reports on hitters, but with Tony it was, I don't know, let's try this.
Well, see the ball, hit the ball. I think they both have that same philosophy. Eddie Rosario likes to swing the bat as Tony did, and Tony did it well. As good as anybody.
Dozier with a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. I misspoke a moment ago. Rosario did not get a run batted in the first inning. Dozier did with his first inning single. Fastball off the plate, 1-2. Some other baseball news, and shouldn't surprise anybody, but Jerry Dipoto, the Mariners, the general manager there, got a contract extension today because the Mariners are one of the feel-good stories of the year in
They
baseball.
sure are.
Lost Robinson Cano and have played better without him than they did with him. 1-2 off the end of the bat foul.
Well, they got made that trade for Colomé too with the Tampa Bay Rays
and Denard
Span, yeah.
Astros and Mariners in a dogfight in the West. Red Sox and Yankees in a dogfight in the East. Cleveland in the Central, 11.5-game lead over the Twins. Down and away.
Yeah, Cleveland winning today in Cleveland against the Oakland A's, 10-4.
Carlos Carrasco making the start. Enough run support for him to get the win. Carrasco's 2018 season was in doubt after Joe Mauer hit that line drive off his elbow. And Dozier swings and misses.
And Bryant striking out for the second time. Wright picking up his first strikeout. Fastball middle in. Bryant swings through at 95.
We've seen Bryant put together really good second halves, but the fact is that home run swing on pitches like that, he's just had a hard time hitting that pitch that he used to wreck. Here's Escobar. Inside, ball one.
There have been 20 hits in this ball game. Only one extra base hit. That was the Kepler home run. Everything else singles.
Well, are you saying that for a reason? With Escobar up, he's usually good for a double.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Good crowd here tonight. 27,570.
One and one to Escobar. And now 2-1.
Wright has that sinker, and that's usually what Escobar likes to hit. Oh, knee high.
Foul back.
That ball stayed up.
You know, Escobar's name has been brought up nationally and locally too as being a candidate to be traded. And I don't know, what Derek Falvey thoughts or Thad Levine's thoughts are. I'm guessing they'd have to be overwhelmed to trade this guy. He's so beloved in the clubhouse. Manager has so much respect for him. Doesn't mean it can't happen. Left center field, chased by Mancini, and he nearly collides with Jones, but he makes the catch 2 away.
So much of this game is, you play between the lines, but it's a chemistry too that's so important, and Escobar brings so much with him to the ballpark day in and day out.
Which he would probably bring to a new team, and he's a free agent after this season, but you leave behind a wake of really disappointed Twins players in that clubhouse.
I'll tell you what, I remember 1988 when the Twins traded Tom Bernansky away and got Tommy Herr in return, and he didn't want to be with us. And we miss Bruno.
Morrison 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Up and away, ball one. strike one on the inside corner. 1-1.
Yeah, Mike Wright, one of those guys. He did make a couple starts earlier this year for the Orioles. Take a look at this pitch right here. At 93. But mainly a reliever throughout his career with the Orioles.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Looks like Matt Belisle will get the 8th inning.
One and two to Morrison. When the Orioles have been good, of course, they've pitched well. And that's been part of the problem this year. The team hasn't pitched particularly well. There are some guys like Bundy who've done okay. The Orioles have the second worst team ERA in the league, second to Kansas City's. And it's the Royals who come in next after the Orioles leave town. Swung on and missed. Morrison strikes out, and the Twins come up empty-handed again in the 7th.
We head to the mound for a flashback from 2 years ago. On this date in 2016, Irvin Santana threw a 2-hit complete game shutout against the Oakland A's. Twins won the game 4-0, and that game ended a 453-game streak without a complete game shutout for the Twins.
And here the Twins have a 6-2 lead. It'll be Matt Belisle coming out of the bullpen. Belisle, of course, started the season with the Cleveland Indians, came over to Minnesota, making his 9th appearance as a Twin. It's been a struggle for Matt. 7 2/3 innings. He allowed 16 hits, 8 runs, all earned, a couple walks with 8 strikeouts. Matt, of course, last year pitched for the Twins. In 62 ball games, he pitched well, got 9 saves.
And a pitch inside to Chris Davis, then Scope and Mancini. We saw Hildenberger warm up. And one of our first questions that we like to get answered when we get here hours before a game is who is available out of the bullpen. And of course, we're asking the question hours before first pitch, and the manager doesn't always know because he doesn't know how a pitcher is going to feel once they fire it up and they'll play catch and all that. But until you get out in the bullpen, you don't really know how your arm is going to feel. And so Hildenberger, who pitched last night, hadn't pitched for a couple of days before that. Warmed up, and then the decision was made to go with Belisle. Now he's fallen behind Davis 3-1.
Well, I think the scoreboard sometimes dictates that too.
Yep. You know, if it had been a 6-4 ball game, well, maybe Hildenberger is the guy.
Right.
3-1 to Davis on the ground, and Morrison's really got to hustle this time because again he committed to the ground ball. That's pretty much the exact same play that happened in the second inning.
Yeah, deja vu all over again.
And it was Escobar again, planted in short right field.
I was just going to say, my goodness, Escobar has almost taken over for Kepler in right field, but here he comes charging in and waits for Morrison. And Morrison getting there a little quicker that time. He gets the out of Davis for the second time in the ball game.
One down, and now Scope. Scope 1 for 3 with a single, and on the ground it's time to Dozier.
Ooh,
close play, just barely got him.
Well, this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Trey Mancini, the batter. 2 down, bases empty, and Belisle's gotten a couple of ground ball outs here quickly in the 8th inning.
There's a chance right here. Matt, you know, has a quick inning. He may go out for the 9th. Not a save opportunity. Save an arm out there for tomorrow's day game.
1-1.
Matt's been around the game a long time. He came up with the Cincinnati Reds back in 2003.
Hammered foul. Nice play by the ball girl. Michael Givens, so he'll get the bottom of the 8th. Weak tapper. Escobar fires on the run, on target again. 3 soft ground balls for Belisle in the 8th.
into the bottom of the 8th inning. It's time to take a look at what's coming your way after the game on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. Lance Lynn had a tough go last time out, but it was a much different story here tonight. We'll break down his impressive bounce-back effort against Baltimore. And much like last night, the defense was there to step up and support their starting pitcher. We'll take a look at some of the highlights, and we'll head into the clubhouse to hear from Paul Molitor. That's all coming up after the game on Twins Live, guys.
All right, Twins would like to make it back-to-back wins against the Orioles. They'll try to get an insurance run or two here against Michael Givens.
Yeah, Givens making his 38th relief appearance. He's 0-6 out of that bullpen. A guy that has really had some very good years for the Orioles, off to a slow start this year. Good fastball, got good movement on it, hard slider, changeup. Guy that originally signed as an infielder with the Orioles and then converted into a pitcher.
And gloved by Machado, who was on the other side of second base. One away. One down. That'll bring up Kepler, who clobbered a 2-run home run in the 4th.
That was a big home run right there, because Bundy, after giving up 3 runs in the first, was settling down nicely, and Kepler made it a 5-0 ball game with that 2-run home run. The Twins added another run to make it a 6-0 lead.
Kepler's 9th of the year. Strike taken at the knees. Chased a high fastball, 0-2.
Givens will give you almost that slinger type of fastball. Doesn't come straight over the top.
Tailing outside to Kepler, 1-2.
He's in his 4th season with the Orioles. I'll tell you what, I mean, you look at him, and he's a guy that clubs might be interested in, even if he's, you know, having an off year. 18-3 coming into this ball game as a reliever in his career.
Big pop up. Out of play.
Not only 18-3, an ERA at 2.75 coming into this year.
But by baseball standards, he's not making a whole lot of money, and the Orioles are going to need somebody to pitch innings for them. So you can see their thought process, maybe deciding to keep him anyway. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how active teams are.
Right.
Especially in the American League. I mean, right now things are, you know, you can make a pretty good guess as to what the playoff field is going to be. Fouled. You know, you've got Cleveland in the Central, and the two teams, you know, the other two divisions are pretty top heavy. Oakland is hanging in there. God bless them. 9 games over 500. But they're still 7.5 games behind Seattle. Rodney getting loose for the 9th. 1-2. Foul back. So if you're the Red Sox or the Yankees, or let's just take Houston for instance, what could they possibly do to make that team better unless someone gets hurt?
Right.
1-2. Last year they added Verlander. Well, he's back with them this year, and so is Garrett Cole. 2-2. A high fly to right. Rickard coming in. Out number 2. Partial season ticket packages are now available in the Delta Sky 360 Club. You can become a Twins season ticket holder today. Become part of the Sweet Spot program. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com or by calling 800-33-TWINS. 2 down in the 8th, and now Jake Cave, single and a run scored in the 4th, but he set the proper tone for this game with a home run robbing catch after the game's first pitch. And Beckham thought he hit one out to straightaway center. And Cave made one of the nicest catches of the year. Fouled back.
Well, I think if those clubs that you talked about, Dick, like, you know, Cleveland, you know, that probably strengthen their bullpen. They're looking for an everyday player or two. You know, Seattle, I think anybody can strengthen their bullpen, especially the way the starters are going 5 and 6 innings. That's what you're looking for.
Cleveland still having a hard time having a healthy outfield. Ronnie Chisenhall put back on the disabled list. 1-2 to Cave. Tap to the right side. Easy play for Scope. Easy inning for Gibbons, and we head to the ninth. The outfielders done here today. Rosario with a good throw. Cave robbed a home run. Kepler hit a home run. Pretty good night for the outfielders.
Yeah,
again.
sure is. Again, you know, the formula kind of from last night: good pitching, good defense, and some good timely hitting, and missed opportunities for the Orioles. Fernando Rodney coming into the ballgame in a non-save situation. Now remember that road trip that we all want to forget about, that Chicago Cubs and White Sox and Brewers. Well, he only pitched a couple times during that whole road trip. Now he pitched last night, picked up his 18th save, and that 18th save tied him with Rick Aguilera for 20th on the all-time save list with 318. But this being a non-save situation, maybe Rodney just wants an inning's worth of work in.
First pitch strike.
Matt Belisle had a very easy 1, 2, 3, 8th inning. On 10 pitches.
Fouled back, 2 strikes. Into the press box again. Right by Mitch Hested again. He's had 2 chances.
I don't blame him. Get out of the way, Mitch.
Huh. And another one fouled back. There he is. He's
hard at work.
Yeah. Said he missed the first one because he was checking his phone. Now he's working on the tablet there. Outside 1-2. Missing low, 2-2. Got him. A strikeout for the first out of the ninth inning.
Well, Rodney picking up his 34th strikeout in 29 2/3 innings.
A little run on it, a little two-seamer, maybe.
A little movement. And Rickard swinging over the top.
Orioles have 9 hits. Caleb Joseph has 2 of them, both singles. And strike one. Pulled foul. Ball running inside too. Now we're seeing 92, but we've typically seen Rodney throw 95, 96.
Well, he'll add and subtract with that fastball. Seems like when he has to, pump it up, he'll get it up to 96, 97. Fernando Rodney, 41 years old, out of the Dominican Republic.
Change up, check swing. No swing.
Twins are his 9th different team to play for. Started with the Tigers back in 2002.
And off the plate at 95. Another hit for Joseph, 3 singles. There's a man aboard with 1 out.
Joseph came into the ballgame hitting only 173. So that average, I'm sure, going into the 200s.
Day game tomorrow, with Kevin Gausman going for the Orioles and Kyle Gibson for the Twins. That's what's next, brought to you by CenturyLink. Pre-game, of course, at 12:30. Base hit to center. And the Orioles now have the tying run in the on-deck circle. A pair of 1-out singles, and Adam Jones will hit, of course, in front of Manny Machado. So suddenly this is a big man to get.
Yeah, Beckham Beckham picking up his 2nd single. And hits are even at 11 apiece.
Jones has hit 4 ground balls. Reached on a fielder's choice when Morrison's throw hit the sliding runner going into second base. And away, ball 1. Obviously, if Jones reaches, then Machado comes up as the tying run. Fouled off his front leg. Ouch. 94-mile-per-hour fastball beaten right into his front leg.
Jones has that guard at
Not
the
down
bottom
there.
of this foot. Didn't have a guard down there. Oh boy, ouch.
In the instep. One and one. Jones hit a home run against Rodney on opening day. Walk-off home run. The only time the Orioles have beaten the Twins this year. Little fly ball, short center field. And Polanco is back out there now to make the catch. Infield fly rule was called. It was always a tough call, I think, for an umpire. But once Polanco appeared to have position on the pop-up, second base umpire Jordan Baker held up his right hand.
Yeah, that's a good pitch right there. Good changeup right there. Jones way out front, creating the second out.
Now Machado, and then behind him Trumbo. Machado's reached 3 times, 2 singles and a walk. Got a pitch up, a changeup, left up. Machado tried to spin on it. Whoa.
A lot of fans here at Target Field starting to get on their feet, looking for that final out.
2 strikes. Fly ball down the right field line. Morrison chasing it in foul ground. Game over. And the Twins have taken the first 2 against the Orioles. Last night the score 5-2, and tonight the score 6-2.
Good win for the Twins. Good win for the Twins. Lance Lynn picking up his 6th win. Couple good innings for the Twins where they scored 3 in the first and 3 in the fourth to take that 6-run lead. The Orioles came back with 2 missed opportunities for the Orioles. That's what I look in this ball game.
Anthony, another good night for the Twins outfielders, Rosario, Cave, and Kepler.
Contributed offense, contributed defense, all in support of Lance Lynn, who gets a big bounce-back victory. We'll break that down. We'll show you how the Twins helped him with the gloves. Here from Paul Molitor. It's all next on Twins Live.